Hello, hi, hello. So y'all already know what time it is when we on the couch. It's a couch conversation.
I know my life can get crazy. Just remain solid and know that I got it. Choose around the globe, we can fly private, change the time zone, switching up climate. Winter time, touchdown in the trap. Never mind the hating on, could we pop? However I'm rolling, I know that you rockin'. I picture with Tina, tell you go shop. She more than confident, she a little cocky. I really think that's how she got me. All the way G is you right.
Okay, so I did a live where I talked about the 6-year-old who shot his teacher. And it came across my desk that he will not be charged, and we are going to watch the news video, and I'm going to give my quick opinion on what I think, because y'all know we give opinions. But I will link the live because I had a whole conversation on the live about the situation, about guns, about mental health issues. I had a whole conversation, like did a whole live dedicated just to that. Now of course we was on there having fun too after the fact, but I definitely did a live when the situation first happened. So I'm gonna play the video and then we're gonna get into it.
We have some significant breaking news to get to you right now that is just coming into us exclusively here at NBC News. You remember that Virginia 6-year-old who shot his elementary school teacher? We are just now learning that he will not face charges. Again, this is from an interview that you will only see here on NBC News that our team is getting with the city's prosecutor just in the last really couple of minutes or so. The Newport News Commonwealth attorney who's overseeing this case says they had some questions about whether the 6-year-old could take the stand, but that he's still looking at possible criminal charges for adults. Now, to recap this story, and remember, it was headlines for, weeks here on this outlet and others. The 6-year-old shot his first-grade teacher, Abigail Zwerner, in the hand and chest back in January at Rich Neck Elementary School. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital. A lawyer for the boy's family and the law firm representing Zwerner are declining comment as we speak. I want to bring in our NBC News legal analyst, Kristen Gibbons-Fedden. Okay, so Kristen, the prospect, and again, this is just breaking here on NBCnews.com and right here on NBC News Now. The prospect that a 6-year-old would take the stand was described by this official as problematic here. This attorney has the Commonwealth's attorney has serious reservations about bringing those charges against a child. That seems to be fundamentally what is at the core of this decision.
Yeah, because keep in mind, all defendants, whether a child or whether an adult, have a constitutional right to a fair trial. That involves having the ability to assist in one's defense. Well, when you have a child who is 6 years old, typically most states say under the age of 10, they are unable to understand the nature of the charges posed against them. And as a result, they, from a competency standpoint, cannot exercise their right to zealously represent or assist in their defense. And so they aren't able to be charged just from a constitutional perspective based on their lack of competency due to their chronological age.
The other piece of this is that Howard Gwynn, this Commonwealth's attorney, said that the focus now, if not the focus, at least the attention is turning to others, meaning adults, meaning, for example, I would imagine, and he didn't specifically say this, he said any person or persons we can believe proved beyond a reasonable doubt committed a crime. I think it's fair for like a layperson to look at that and go, okay, does that mean educators in the building? Does that mean members of administration? Does that mean relatives or perhaps family members of this little boy? Are we thinking in the right direction here? What does that say to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because keep in mind, Holly, remember Ethan Crumley, his parents were charged and they stand charged for Ethan coming to school and engaging in a mass shooting. And so equally in this case, the 6-year-old's parents could be charged. How did he get that gun? Where did it come from? Was it locked up? Was there negligence? Was there any efforts from the parents or even security within the school that endangered the welfare of other individuals because that gun was allowed to be in the school? There was no efforts, if there were any, were there any efforts to prevent what actually happened, which was the ultimately fatal shooting of this teacher? So they could absolutely be charged either for reckless or negligent type charges, but probably not intentional charges, because it would be very difficult for a prosecutor to prove that anyone intended for this child to utilize that gun and murder someone, but certainly any charges regarding reckless intent or negligent intent.
There is certainly potentially still more to come on this story. Again, exclusive here at the moment to NBC News.
Okay, so I agree. Trying to put a 6-year-old on trial is just not plausible. I mean, it's a sad situation, don't get me wrong. I just feel like it's not going to work. It's very problematic, like they said, problematic, because he's 6 years old. So, like she said, anybody under the age of 10, it's like they can't participate in their defense. They don't know what's going on. And pretty much all they know is what they did was wrong. But, as I stated in my live, the parents need to be held accountable. Like, the adults involved in the situation need to be held accountable. Because, again, you got endangering the welfare of a child, reckless endangerment, reckless intent, negligent intent. Like, why was the gun not secured? Why was the child able to get to the gun, not only get to a loaded gun, put it in their backpack, and take it to school and shoot a teacher? Like, what does that say about parenting? Like, you need to be charged as an adult for being responsible for this. You an accessory at this point. Like, come on, fam. Like, for real? How did you even let that happen? How? Make it make sense, Nancy. How did you make... I just came up with a random name. How did you let that happen? I don't understand. I really don't understand. And now what I do believe also should happen, though, is that the 6-year-old should be in some form of mental hospital and seek medical treatment and mental treatment, because what I believe will happen, may happen, not will happen. Let me not say that. We already got a lot of mass shootings going on, like the situation in Nashville that I'm not going to speak on. I don't really particularly like speaking on mass shootings because it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and it's a lot that go with that. So, but I will say situations like this end up being situations like that. If this child don't get some type of mental help, who knows what he's going to turn into. Because if you could shoot somebody at 6 years old, you could shoot somebody at 16, 26, 36, 46, 56. I'm going to say that again. If you could shoot somebody at 6 years old, you could shoot somebody at 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66. It don't matter. You already starting young. So if nobody gets him the help that he needs and nobody figures out, because even though he's 6, he's still able to explain or at least say why he did it, where did it come from. Because I have a 6-year-old godson who can explain everything that happened at school. Like, everything that happened in life. So, well, actually, he older than 6. But when he was 6, it's like my god kids at 3 years old can tell y'all more than adults can. Like, these kids are smart. So you can figure out, even if the parents can't figure it out, the doctors can at least figure out what was his state of mind, why did he do it. Another thing, we already had a video on the kids that were snatched by DCFS. We call it DCFS. So DCFS, I noticed that was a difference in the video, but we already had that video. Did y'all do, first of all, did he get taken from his parents? That's number one. He should have. He should not be with his parents at all. Or mother or parent, whatever, guardian, whatever. He needs to be either in a mental hospital, or DCFS better be doing the same type of snatching they did with the mother kids. So, you have the question on what is going on in the home. Y'all need to do interviews on what's going on in the home, because I guarantee you something is either going on at the school, which the people at the school need to be held accountable, because what's going on at the school. I know somebody who, my bad, I got distracted because one of my nails short. Girl, focus, damn. I know somebody who teacher actually embarrasses and picks on them as a child. What's going on at the schoolhouse? I got questions. What's going on in the household? What has happened to this boy? Don't nobody just wake up and shoot nobody. There is some type of trauma that is there's cause and effect. Cause the trauma, effect whatever the person decides to do. Take it from somebody who knows. I went through trauma and molestation. What did I do? I act out and became promiscuous and angry. Cause and effect. He didn't just decide, wake up and was like, I'm going to take a gun to school and I'm going to shoot my teacher. That's not how that happened. There's some type of backstory. There's something that happened, and that's what needs to come out. I don't want them to reveal the boy's identity. That I do not want. I don't want that for that baby. Again, I know what he did was wrong. It's messed up, and prayers to the family of the teacher. But don't put that baby in the media like that, because the media will rip him to shreds, even as a child, and that's just going to affect his mental state even more. Because these kids got phones at 6 years old. These kids on social media as babies, they know what's going on. Cyberbullying is a thing. You got kids out here committing suicide over social media. So I feel like he needs to get mental help, or at least be in some type of mental hospital. I feel like the parents should be held accountable legally. I feel like there needs to be an investigation within the school, because again, was something going on at the school? Did y'all do interviews? Like, did y'all interview the other kids? All that. Like I said, I know somebody who literally their teacher was talking about them, embarrassing them, making fun of them. It's some good educators out here, and teachers do not get paid enough for the work that they do. But it's also some bad apples in that bunch too. So y'all need to do some research and figure out who is going to be held accountable. But I don't believe a 6-year-old should be able to stand trial or face charges. It's not plausible. It's not plausible. They're 6 years old. And like I said, like they was talking about a fair trial and participating in the defense. It's no way. It's not plausible. But somebody got to be held accountable. Somebody got to be held responsible. That's my opinion. You can put your opinion in the comments, however y'all feel about it. Again, like I said, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. Just don't be disrespectful about it, please, because you will get removed. That was my couch conversation and my opinion on that situation. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Girl, you gave me your soul. Somebody turned your heart cold. I picked it up off that old time.